Silent Switch podcast. I'm your co-host, Julian. I'm here with Trell. How you doing today, Trell?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling great. It's Thursday. I'm only home from work, man. I'm just happy to be back on the podcast, man. It's been so long since we did it,
Yeah,
so I'm happy. How you feel?
I feel good, man. I'm definitely excited to be back. Like you said, it's been some time. It's been, a couple of months, almost half a year. I think like 5 or 6 months. But definitely excited to get back into the groove, to get this thing going. This is something that was in the works for, for the past couple months. But being able to start this process to get back here today on this Thursday is amazing, man. So definitely, like I said, we're excited to be back on the podcast, and we're going to kind of just tell you guys about a little bit of things that we've been doing. Talk to you about the process, and just kind of share our life, our life updates. Some great things, Trevor. Got to tell the viewers. Educated man, you know what I'm saying, going back to school. But also, we're going to talk about just the process of how we came up with our logo, how we came up with our beat, how we came up with conversations about, how we want the podcast to look for season 2 compared to season 1. Trey, it's crazy that it is season 2, bro. How you feel about that?
Man, I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we talked about this like a year and a half ago, man. Like,
Hmm.
let's do a podcast. You know what I mean? Like you always say these conversations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it's going, I want to do this, and we talked about it.
Hmm.
And then and at first it felt like, I don't know, do we really want to do this? And then
Yeah.
we started doing it. Took off from there, man. And
Yeah.
like you said, it feels crazy. A year past that is still, still going strong, and this is still like improving. Like that's what we're gonna talk about today. Things we improved on today,
Improving.
kind of reflect on it to like, polish up and make better. We both very passionate about this, and that's the reason we want to like kind of go in over the revow process. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people like they have these dreams, aspirations in life, but like they don't talk about the nitty gritty stuff, like working to get to that point, to
Hmm.
even try to do that. So we want to kind of go over that process too.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. And that's something that that carries our podcast with the name Silent Switch. Taking action and making it happen. And that's something that we talked about. Okay, if we're really gonna do this podcast, then we have to be very intentional and take the steps that we need to take to make it be better this season 1. But also, if we're gonna be an official podcast, I told you all the time, like we got to be official. We got to take the steps to do that. And, like I said, it's some things that we're going to share with y'all, like I said earlier about the logo, those different things. And hopefully the viewers, hopefully you guys will be able to see just that growth, just, over time since the podcast, since you first started. For those who've been watching Silent Switch podcast for a while, hopefully able to see that growth. Because me and Trell, we feel like we have that growth, not only personally, but also that growth within this podcast. So definitely.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's the biggest part, man. I feel like these past 6 months, the hiatus we took wasn't intentional, but like, I feel like it was necessary because we definitely needed that time to kind of reflect on why we were doing this
Yeah.
in the first place. What we want to get out of that, and that's kind of like what that process was for us. It's like going back to the drawing board and get back to like our roots, basically. Like why are we even doing this? Like,
Yeah.
why are we taking time out our days, our schedule to kind of do this? We figure out like, man, we want to help people grow.
Yeah.
We also want to grow ourselves, inspire people, want to motivate, want to be that beacon of positivity. A lot of times people don't have that. So
Yeah. Definitely. And that's why we're doing it to really, like I said, to inspire. And that was one thing that me and Trail talked about. Like, why are we doing this podcast? And that was the biggest thing we said was to inspire. To let someone know, like, it's time. If you've been thinking about, what you gonna do next, hopefully this podcast will allow you to see like, okay, it's time to turn the Silent Switch on and to move forward. And so speaking of moving forward, I want to talk about the logo, Trail. This logo is something that we say we want to be official. We liked I think, did we have a logo season 1, Trail? I don't even remember. Do we have a logo?
we have a logo. My former co-host is my logo.
Yeah. I think we had, like I said, I think it just said Silent Switch.
That was it.
That's
That's all we have a logo and nothing.
yeah,
So that's why we had to go, man, we're gonna do this, but we gotta start being, like you said, official.
yeah. We really
That's one of our logo, So
yeah. So definitely, man. So what we're gonna do, like I said, the logo was something big, and we're, I'm gonna kind of tell you guys about it. Also, Trevor's gonna share some things that we kind of was like very, really focused and very detailed. I say his logo is very detailed, or very detail oriented. And so with the logo, we're gonna first start with, we always talk about name, what it means, and at the bottom of the logo, it says what turns on your switch. Another way that me and Trail came up with was like, what flips your switch? What makes you go? Um, but also in it, Trail, I want you to tell like the viewers. So in the podcast, I mean, in the actual logo, what is just tell viewers and listeners about the actual the things in it. Just let them know a little bit more about it.
So I pull it up my phone. So the logo, we wanted to one make it nice and professional, but we also want it to be simple. We didn't want anything too flashy, too over the
Mm-hmm.
top. That's not who we want to be. We want it to be like a representation of us as men, and then our reflect our podcast too. We
Yeah.
want a podcast to substance this style. You know what I mean? We definitely wanted to look nice and feel nice, but
Yeah.
we want the stuff we saying to matter, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we wanted to kind of influence. So we just got us, both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really nice, like pictures of like literally legit looks like us.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part to me. Like it really legit look like us. I was thinking like he's just gonna be kind of cartoony, like oh man, I'm look like Bugs Bunny or
Yeah. I
something,
was
man. But like,
hesitant. I was like, oh no.
like yeah, it's us and our mics, man. Just again, it's very simple. It's what we do as a podcast. We got mics.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important part for us, I know we talked about, man, is the background setting.
Mm-hmm.
In the backgrounds, we got the mountains. And that's some kind of like a symbol and a representation of where we at geographically. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Tennessee, Carolina,
Yeah.
and the common denominator for both those states is Smoky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to kind of own it because, I think we spoke about this earlier, but everybody has a journey. And our journeys right now has us in these locations. We want to reflect that. So no matter where we move to or where we go, we always have that reminder, like, dang, this is where it all started at Smoky Mountain. This is where it all started at. So we
Mm-hmm.
wanted that to reflect the podcast as well. And then another important piece, man, we had on there is the bridge. So we got the Smoky Mountains and you got the bridge here
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in front of you. Like it's not very noticeable, but you look, you can see it. And
Yeah.
that bridge is like a representation of our walks, man. I walk with God, I walk with ourselves, I walk as, growing men in this world, man. We
Yeah.
want to have that that's like everybody has a starting point. But everybody got that bridge that you gotta eventually walk over to get to the place you're trying to get to. So that's what this podcast is. But
Yeah.
it's the first step we take into the next phase of our life. We're not longer kids anymore. We're men, but we got to grow into that. We got to walk into that. That's what that bridge kind of represented for us.
Definitely, Trey. You hit it on the tee. He's definitely said taking that step, like taking that next step. And that's something that we always talked about. It's like, if we want to take that next step, let's take the next step with this logo. Let's take the next step with our podcast. Um, let's not just be average. Let's not just be good. Let's be great. And that's the steps. That's what we're moving towards with this podcast. Another thing too, Trail, is you said the Smoky Mountains. Why do we come up like you tell our listeners, our viewers, like nature, like why nature? Why do we have like that greenery, things like that? What is that? Does that have some type of like symbol or something to it? Symbolize anything?
So the main color you guys will see if you look at the logo is like green, and that's like greenery and luxury, like nature. So we wanted to kind of embody that in our podcast. It's something we very important to both of us. We both love spending time in nature, but we just like to think of nature, like just be in that environment, the calmness, the
Yeah.
peacefulness, but also oneness. When you're outside in nature, man, you realize how connected everything is. You know what I mean? Like every tree is there for a reason. Every plant has a part. Every animal has a part to play in that environment.
Hmm.
We want, and that's how we want our lives to be. Our lives represent that. We want our
Yeah.
lives to be complete. Everything that plays a part. You know what I mean? We just don't have things in our life just to be there. No, why is it there? I want
Hmm.
everything to be intentional. That's how nature is. Everything in nature is intentional. So that's another reflection of how we want our podcast to be and also our lives.
Yeah. And when you say intentionality, Trey, I like how you talked about that because when we were thinking about just how we want season two to be, we thought a lot about season one. We were brainstorming and having these conversations. We were intentional about, okay, this is what we talked about in season one. How can we show season one and season two? how can we show this through our logo? How can we show this through our beat? How can we show this towards our message that we're trying to get to our, our listeners, our viewers? Um, and so, like we always said, season one, that was our favorite word. I said the number one word that was used in season one was intentionality, being intentional. But being able to, my bad, but being able to get this thing going. I actually got some water like you, Trey. I'm over about to choke.
Gotta keep going.
I
You gotta.
usually keep one with me, but I forgot to grab it. But that no, I said like being intentional in everything we do. And so the next thing too, Trey, is like what we said, the logo, but also the beat. For our viewers, who watched season one, they may have seen that we had the same beat for like intro, outro. What were we trying to get with that intro beat, Trail, with that with the instrument? I mean, with the instrumental. What were we trying to say?
You wanted something triumphant, man. You wanted
Yeah,
something like triumphant, get you going, to get you like the intro, like get you ready to
yeah,
listen to things we're gonna talk about the podcast. We wanted something like match our vibe. That's the whole thing. We kept talking about. Like, we need something to match our vibe, podcast, our vibe is beat. So we got some trumpets playing in the beginning, man, kind of
yeah.
get everybody going.
Elegance, yeah.
Celebrations. Yeah, remind like this is your life, man. You gotta celebrate yourself sometimes. You gotta feel good about yourself with the things that you do. If you don't love it, nobody else will. So
Yeah.
that's what the drum, the trumpets in the beginning kind of represent, man. And
Mhm.
just like a really just nice, smooth, man. It's not nothing crazy, not nothing too. The beats ain't gonna blow your eardrums, nothing like that, man. It's just a nice, smooth, easy transition into the flow of the podcast. What we're gonna be kind of discussing each episode.
Definitely, Trail. You hit that on the tee with that one because that, like you said, that was the first trail. That was the first word Trail said. He said, "I want something to be like I want like excellence, right?" And you think like Trump is those type of things is like excellence, right? Um, And so that I think that was like the perfect beat for us. Another thing too, Trail, like we said, we want something like happy. We want something to show you like be happy. Like you hear this beat come on, like you excited, like okay, it's Silent Switch podcast. It's time. Let me get happy. Let me change my move. I'm having a bad day. When I hear this, when I hear the message, it's able to change my whole perspective, my whole day. And that's the thing. Why we chose kind of that beat for the intro. And then the outro was, I'm gonna kind of talk about the outro. Like Cheryl was like, you want something that excellent for the intro. I was like, what can we do for the outro? You hear something, it gets you happy, and then like we wanted something that was gonna be the outro. I wanted something that was gonna be very like it's time. Like I heard the Silence Switch podcast, now it's time. And you hear in the intro it has like a little person saying, yeah, like it's like you basically telling like, yeah, it's time for you like to get this thing going. And they get excited, like to start that, start wherever start that journey that you about to, begin after this episode, after each episode. So, I mean, everything has a, some type of message or some type of that symbolizes something. We weren't just choosing things just to choose something, because it just did that. But um, everything that we do, a lot of things that me and Trail do, like have meaning behind them. Like we just don't get up and just go through life. We actually have like meaning in life. That's what we strive for.
Man, I really like that you brought that piece up, man. 'Cause that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly why we do this process. It might not be the most glamorous conversation or
Yeah.
topic to talk about right now. Like it shows like every single thing that we do in this podcast has meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to do. You gotta take ownership of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be intentional with things you do. Something in your life is not working. Sit down and think about why you even have that in your life, why it's
Mm-hmm.
not working. And that's what we did with everything, with the beats, with the logo, with the just the flow, the format, everything. We went back to ground zero and broke it down.
Yep.
Okay, what's working, what was working, what we need and what we don't need. That's the most. If you want to really flip the switch, that's how you start.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at your life and really see where you're trying to go and how you need to get there.
Mm-hmm. And you said it, Trail, and if you think about it's your individual journey, and being able to figure out what it is that you want to do and start working towards it, and it's something that changes in you that makes you want to do that. And when we talk about this, when we talk about this podcast, we're talking about find what that is for you that makes you just flip some or switch something to make you move forward, to make you start doing that, because I think one thing, Trail, it was crazy because I wasn't even gonna talk about this, but I had it on my desk earlier, and they talked about how can we, um, we all had that low point, right? Or that low point of feeling like we can't move forward, right? And so, um, share just like share with our viewers. We had that low point at certain parts of our life. I know this past year I've been having that low point, but being able to move forward. How does that look? Like how does that look? Share with our listeners. We have some new listeners, new viewers. Share with them like how does that process look?
Man, for me, my low points, man, like when it, and when you like, I like what you said before, like when you in that low point, you feel like you never get out. Like it
Yeah,
just feels like you in a never ending hole, man. You getting deeper, deeper and deeper. Like every time you feel like you climbed up a little bit,
yeah,
and you see like the little sunlight at the top,
hmm
drop right back down. And like you said, but I had to sit back and like kind of for me, I had to sit back and reevaluate my life. Like what was our what was making me like this? What was I missing in my life that was making me feel depressed, or what was I doing that was making me feel anxious? Because you can't really solve a problem until you figure out what the problem is.
hmm
And that takes a lot of self accountability,
yeah,
a lot of courage, but just a lot of self reflection, man. And this stuff to do is not an easy process. It's never easy to like kind of like check yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to check somebody else. Like, oh yeah, you doing that wrong. You doing that wrong. You got to sit down, look at yourself in the mirror. Like, nah, you effing up, man. You got to be better. You got to do
hmm
better. Like to go through that process is tough. It makes it even feel even worse. Now you feel like not only you feel depressed, now you feel even bad. You're like, damn, I feel like a failure now. But once you really sit back and really analyze your life, look through like, damn, okay, I was effing up on that. I went on that property. Now I can start changing. And slowly but surely, you get out that hole. It's not overnight. You're not gonna be like, okay, I figured out the problem. Now I'm out the hole. Like, no, you gotta work to get out that hole. It's gonna take sometimes months,
yeah,
years to get out. For us, man, we just did it. Luckily, we had, have people like you in my life, man, I could count on. And that's why it's so important to have people in your life, man. You can trust, you can find it. It's hard to go through life alone. And that's what this podcast is, man. People out there that might feel alone or might need that little extra motivation or inspiration, man. That would be there.
yeah, definitely. And like you said, Trey, I'm echoing right now for some reason. Let me see. But yeah, for some like just taking those like taking that step, and like I said, that process is really hard. Like I said, that process is easy. Everybody be walking around with a smile on their face, but being able to really um tap into that, tap into it and really like embrace it. It's real scary at first because you feel like, okay, like if I do this, then the same outcome is gonna happen again. But you can't look at that. You can't look at it that way. You have to look at it in a positive light, and realize that if you never if you never take that step, you'll never move forward. If you never
Yeah.
move forward, if you never move forward, you'll never be able to look forward. Um, so just being able to really like believe in yourself when nobody believes in you, talking to yourself, being your biggest fan, being your biggest advocate, finding something that really just inspires you to want to move forward, you know. And if it's one little small thing that inspires you, what you look for, be stuck on that one thing. Don't be like, oh, this is one thing, and somebody tell you like, oh, you shouldn't. Like, no, this is the one thing that's gonna inspire me. It's gonna keep inspiring me. Even if it's a video or something that you watch every single day, just like stay inspired. It's gonna be tough because
Yeah.
life gonna throw stuff at you, but stay on your journey. Stay where you want to go. Um, and keep looking down. I keep looking down and look up, and keep going. Have that tunnel vision.
Man, that's the most important part. Once you figure out your why, it
hmm
makes things a lot more easier. When things get tough, man, you hit them adversities, some hard roads, some hard times, you can look back, why the hell am I even doing this? Nah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know why. Yeah, I need to do this. This is my life. This is what I want to do for my life. This is what I was created to do. This is what I was put on this earth to do. I know that seems kind of cliche, like, oh yeah, it's all spiritual stuff, but it's real. Like we all made to do different things in the world. We
Yeah.
all have different skill sets, different strengths, different abilities. You got to figure out what's your niche, what things you can do provide to the world in a positive way. Once you figure that out, that's all about doing it. Now you can
Yeah.
flip the switch. Now you can start walking that path. Now you can cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Even if the bridge start walking, wind hit it, raining, it's snowing. Fuck, I still know I'm going. My wise was pushing me.
Yep.
I don't need that's when you really get that self motivation, that internal motivation.
hmm You said right there, internal. Like everything becomes internal. External does not have an impact on it at all. Everything becomes internal. It's all in you. You know what I'm saying? It's all in you. Um, And so, like, really, like, buying to that. And then, so also, Trey, I know we said we wanted to talk about just the purpose of, purpose of each episode. Every episode of the Solid Switch podcast is going to have, there's going to be some purpose behind it. There's going to be something that we're trying to tell our viewers, our listeners. Um, and so with that, like this first episode, there's some purpose behind. There's something we're trying to say to you to get you, to let you know, like, if you haven't started that journey, if you're scared to start that journey, start it today. Find that energy source. If it's this right here, this episode, if it's your favorite song that you listen to after this, if it's if it's somebody said something to you at work that motivated you, inspired you, take that. If you watch your favorite movie after this, and you hear your favorite line that you repeat over and over, take that. But that's what we trying to do. We trying to be purpose driven. You know what I'm saying? We had the thing last week in my job. We had something like purpose driven. And the first thing with being purpose driven is that it comes, like you said, Terrell. It starts with you internally. Wake up with that excitement. You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep with that excitement. You know, find things that will keep you excited. I heard this thing, Terrell. I know I'm on a little rant, but I heard this thing. Somebody said last week. He said every small thing that you do is is progress. Even if it's something as small as you opened up a book. It's progress. So you study for something, you open the book. That's progress. You open the book up. That's some type of progress. You ain't have to open it up.
Exactly.
you know.
Like if you start looking at life like that, man, you find a lot of little wins and little
Yep.
goals every single day that you hit. So you're like, okay, well, if your main goal is to lose weight, go to the gym. Okay, well, you never been to the gym before, so you start going and like maybe you just start waking up early. In
Mm.
your mind, you normally go like, okay, I wake up. I don't think I can go today, but at least you start waking up. And now
Yep.
you start getting used to waking up. Now you can start getting dressed. Like you can
hmm
take it slow. You can take it slow as you need to. A lot of people try to rush things and then they rush and they burn themselves out.
Yep.
You gotta go. You gotta meet yourself where you at now. If you're not ready to start going work out every single day at 5 a.m., don't do that. Take it
Yep.
slow. Do what you can. But as long as, like you said, as long as you move, as long as you open in that book, that's something.
To open that book, I like that one. Open that book. Everything is a chapter in your life. And like you said, and that part of that is embracing that journey. The journey is your journey, you and your individual journey. And one thing we didn't share, Trey, earlier with the podcast is like the reason why we have both of us on the logo is me and Trey have two different journeys. You know what I'm saying? And that's something we always talk about. It's like, okay, Trey, you on this journey of with your profession, this mental health journey of being a mental health counselor, inspired so many lives in that way. I'm on my education journey, inspire individuals with education. And it's okay to have separate journeys to people than other people because we all are here with purpose. There's purpose behind it. And so I think that's amazing. So for those for those listeners and viewers, definitely take what we saying into take it to heart. I'm gonna say like that, take it to heart. Because if nobody's not telling this stuff, like listen to this episode and really take it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
Like you said, man, like in the day, like once I realized, like again, everything I say kind of sounds cliche to me, but like once I realized it's my life, like it's nobody else's life. Really
Mm,
not gonna come over and live my life for me. My friends and family not gonna live my life. It's my life, so it's
yep.
gonna be what I make. So at the end of the day, like I always want to feel like I want to live a life with no regrets. That's me.
hmm
For me, that's living an intentional purpose for life. Like no matter how that looks, I don't have to. I don't have to be like all super glamorous or anything like that. As long as I'm waking up every day and being intentional, doing the things I'm passionate about, and spending time with people I love and care about, and loving myself and loving God, that's a win.
Yep. And it goes back, like I said, it goes back to those values, those things that mean something to you. I heard this thing earlier. Somebody said, I think it was like listening, like on the radio or something. It's like, what is success? Everybody's success is different to every single person. Some people say success is money. Some people say success is, having a family, having things they never had before. So defining what success is to you defining whatever you're working towards, what that success is, and start working on that journey. But then, really, like you said, embracing that process, Trail, and really like loving like what you're trying to do. It shows once you start doing that, then you start having that passion, and then people start saying like, "Why are you so passionate?" Because I'm excited. I'm excited about what I'm doing, and if I'm excited about what I'm doing, you can't stop me because I'm too excited. You know what I'm saying?
And that's so crazy that people see. That's how like like living like that is so unnatural
Yeah,
nowadays in today's society. Like people see like, why are you so bad? Like,
yeah,
why you not passionate? Why you doing something you're not passionate about?
yeah,
I should be asking you why. You should be like, look at me like I'm crazy for being passionate about something. But
yeah.
like that's I journey like most people are on, man. Finding that passion is so hard to find in today's world, man.
Mhm.
We just go with the flow of society, man. We just don't going through the motion, man. Wake up, go to work, come home, just and who wants to really live their life like that? That's
Yeah,
why so many people out here depressed and all this stuff because you live in a life that don't feel you. You don't have no meaning, no value in that life.
yeah,
But the crazy thing is, nobody told you can change that. You can wake up tomorrow and change that. It don't have to be that. You can choose how you want your story to be, how you want to write your story.
how you
Will
want?
it be easy? Yeah, it ain't
Yeah,
gonna be easy, but it's your life, man. And you anything good is not gonna be easy. You got a good marriage. I'm pretty sure that marriage ain't easy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you got a good job. That job ain't gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Like anything you have in your life worth having is not gonna it's gonna take work to keep, you know?
yeah. But the biggest thing too, Trey, like you said, and another thing is just like living life through your lenses. Like this is these your lenses. This is your life that you living. You wake up tomorrow, you open your eyes, that's your lens. Nobody else is gonna be able to see any of these things that you see in your life ever in your perspective because it's your lens, it's your life, it's how you living. So I think the biggest thing with people and individuals in general is like we let people who can't even see life through our lenses control our life. You don't do that. You move them out the way. It's your life, it's your lens, and you live life through your lens is how you want it to look. And that's the
Yeah,
biggest thing.
exactly, man. Like you said, man, your perspective nobody else can ever will ever have your perspective ever.
Mm-hmm.
I heard something like a few weeks ago that every single moment of your life is a moment only you can have.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, the moment we have now, this spot, only we can have this moment, have this
Yep.
conversation. You know, nobody else can be us.
Mm-hmm.
We have is 50 million kids. It could be 50 million Julian Jackson. It's never gonna be another Julian Jackson like you. Never be another Latrell Lee like me. You got to remember that. Like
Yep.
we are unique. You're not saying like you just. I'm trying to say this. We're all special, and unique in our different ways. We gotta like harness that. We gotta be aware of that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like embrace that. Don't shy away from who you are. Yourself. You gotta be authentic. That's why I
Stay
feel like
true.
that's really stay true to yourself, man. That's the
Yeah.
hallmark of a great man. Just stay true to yourself. That's what we want to do this podcast. Be our authentic selves and have a platform we can speak our truth and trying
Yeah.
to shove
You're
it
right.
down your throat and then like force y'all to do that. We trying to give y'all wisdom and knowledge that we gained throughout our lives, man. That's been helping us grow and achieve things we trying to.
Yeah, definitely. And so we can keep this thing going for some time, Trail. But like I said, we really just want to kind of get to our listeners, our viewers, and just let them know about what we've been doing, where we're at. So now, since we've been on it for some time, Trail, let's tell them about our life update. So first of all, I want to congratulate Trail, for starting graduate school. This is something he's been talking about for a while. But like we said in this podcast, like he took the steps to make it happen. Now my boy about to be done with a non-semester of graduate school. So I'm gonna give you a round of applause with that one right there. So
I
yeah,
appreciate
but
that.
tell us about that journey. Sure, how's that journey been for you? Taking that next step that you talked about for some time.
Man, so to be honest with you, when I first started, I was terrified, afraid, man. I was
Mm-hmm.
afraid of. I had so many different fears on my mind, and I'm like, do I really want to go back and do this? And do I really want to spend all this money going back to school? I just graduated like 4 or 5 years ago. I ain't been to classes forever. I don't know if I remember my graded paper.
Yeah.
Do I want to put myself through this? Like, what if I go through this and realize it's not what I want to do in my life? I waste all this time and stuff. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, battling myself, man. But luckily, I had a really good friend, Julian,
Mm-hmm.
man. Just stay right here, man. Stay with me. He helped me where I was at. He didn't like push me too fast before I was ready, but he kept pushing me still,
Yeah.
and just reminding me like, hey, you said you wanted to do right. Why not do it? And so like once I got to the point, like we talking about, like I realized like, man, this is my life. I
Mm-hmm.
want to make this perfect. So intentional. I got to start walking that bridge. So I saw the bridge, like, you know what? My bridge is grass. I have to go back. If I want to
Hmm.
help people in the way I know I can, I have to get this. I have to get this three. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So I have to go back. I have to do what I have to do. So when I finally enrolled and got back in the swing of things and going through grad school, man, it actually been a breeze. This is something I actually care about. So totally different compared to undergrad, but I didn't really. I knew it was
Hmm.
out there. I'm taking class. I had no passion, no desire to do. So I'm you know, skate, trying to skate by and stuff. But now like, I'm really locked in, man. I'm really taking the initiative, taking this serious because this is my life, man. This is my time, my money. I'm not on scholarship anymore. I don't have no football coach or anything. I'm
Yeah.
behind me telling me you gotta do this. Like,
Hmm.
and that even though it's kind of scary to have that so much accountability, but it also feels so much rewarding when you actually do it. Man. I get an assignment turned in, like, damn, I did that.
Excitement.
It's not like an ego. Yeah, not like an ego, but just like, damn, like pat myself on the back. Like I did that. I didn't have to. I could have
Hmm.
said tough it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I got like going on. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Once I finally did it, keep turning assignment. Every time I get an assignment turned in and
Yeah.
get a good grade back, I just feel even more confidence come build.
Taking those steps.
I
So
mean,
each of those grades is a part of that process.
it is, man, and it all adds up. Like before you know it, you're done with the semester and you got an A. Like, damn, like I did that. And it's
Yeah.
just another notch in your confidence go. It just helps. It helped me in so many different areas of my life. It gave me so much more confidence in my career, uh, being a dad. Just everything I was doing. I felt like I've grown so much through that process, man. But I would never got to this point if I didn't if I didn't overcome my fear and step away from my fear and keep moving
Hmm.
into the route.
Yeah, definitely. And so, like, Trail said, like, we was having these conversations about it, about taking that next step. But the biggest thing, like Trail said, was like, he had to realize that it was in him. You know what I'm saying? And like, one thing I always tell myself is like, it's in you. Like, it's not nobody else. It's in you. So somebody could tell you, somebody could tell you this or tell you that, but it's in you. It's what you want. Um, and that's the Trail. He said, you know what? I want this. He's like, bro, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And he realized that it's in me. Like, I can do this. Like, why am I holding myself back? And it's crazy because, Trail, every time we talk about it, and Trail just got back from was it New Hampshire, right?
New Hampshire,
Yeah.
yeah.
So got back from New Hampshire, and he was telling me about just the experience, and share with our viewers, our listeners about your experience in New Hampshire with that, being going to a new space that you had never been with. I mean, never been to.
Right. So that we had a what they call like a residency week
Hmm.
in New Hampshire. I go to
Yeah.
up in New Hampshire, Southern New Hampshire University, so like it's local in New Hampshire. So I had to go there for a week, and so basically it was something,
Yeah.
yeah, basically a week of us like honing in on our skills as counselors,
Hmm.
role playing things like that. So it was very like intensive, very like emotional too, because we all be very vulnerable and open about
Yeah.
our lives.
Hmm.
But it was so like it was so enlightening to me, man, because it made me realize I'm on the right path. I just
Hmm.
feel so at peace with what I was doing, and it's just all flow so natural and so easy. You know what I mean? And like Julian said, it was a new space. I never did anything like this before. I ain't never been out on the East Coast, so I'm like nervous about that. I'm nervous about having to go through all these skills and role playing, random people I never met before.
Hmm.
But it was just so like enriching, man, to be in that environment around people that got it. They saw the world kind of like I do. Kind of have the same desires and wishes I can actually speak about things that about my career that I actually want to speak about. I can't speak about my actual job. You know,
Hmm.
people with my actual job is on the same route. So it's very rewarding, man. I was very blessed to be there,
Hmm.
man. It just more hungry to do it.
Yeah. Definitely. And so, like you said, Trail, like the one thing that you talked about, and we always talk about, just like finding that stuff that passionate about outside your 9 to 5, and finding something that you working towards something, gradually. It's not the final destination. It's a part of where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? But it gives you that excitement. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you don't have to be in your dream job and all those things right now. Like, find something that's going to allow you to feel like you're moving forward. And so for Trail, like I told him, I said, once you start at graduate school, you're gonna feel like you starting to move forward. Like, you're gonna feel that process. You're gonna feel that excitement again, like you did when you was getting ready for college. You know what I'm saying? Um, And that's a true statement. Like, we find these things that we can work towards to make us feel make us feel like we're working towards our goal. Um, and like you even talked about earlier, Trey, about that, in fitness. For a lot of people that's fitness, but if you know exactly what you want to do, like I'm gonna be 100 with our viewers, our listeners. Like Trail, when it comes to mental health, Trail got this. He knows stuff. He got it down to a T. He knows it. He can break this stuff down for us. You know what I'm saying? He knows the importance of mental health, um, because not only does he know it, he's experienced it, and he's able to put it into practice. And so being able to be a black man, a black male, and sharing that, and sharing that knowledge and sharing it's okay to, see a mental health counselor, is extremely important. So like I always tell you, Trill, I could commend you for, being in that space. Um, and so, I mean, there's a lot of great things going on with Trail. Trail, you been on the go, like you making stuff happen. Um, I know you say you think you're trying to find a new space and everything. Yeah, so that's definitely a lot of great things are happening. Once things start to happen, other things start to move in your life, and I'm telling Trail, hey, that's what it's doing. That's what's happening to you.
Man, something I want to touch on too before we move forward.
Yeah,
So I like what you said about like once you start the process, you really get that. It really motivates you even more because
mhm,
once you start doing something, once you start that process, going whatever you're trying to do, whatever
yeah,
goal you're trying to accomplish, you realize to accomplish that goal, you got to be that person.
yeah,
So you got to start doing that that person that will allow you to be that person. That
mhm,
makes sense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just like it said, like God, faith without works is dead.
mhm,
So basically, like you can see and imagine you being that person, but if you're not doing the things that person needs to do, you're not waking up early enough, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not eating right, you're not exercising, you're not studying enough, you're not um honing into your craft enough, you're not doing all those things, you would never reach that goal. You know what I
mhm,
mean? So as you on that journey, walking across that bridge, you realize what it takes to even get across that bridge, and that's
mhm,
that helps a lot. Too. Like you're like, okay, damn, to get across this bridge, I might have to get my calf muscle stronger. So I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to do something to do that. Or
yeah,
like, okay, it could be like you said, fitness. Like, okay, if I want to get swoller, what I need to do, I gotta eat more. I gotta work out more. So you start actually implementing those things to your daily life, and you realize like, okay, you might be some days you don't feel like doing it, but you gotta realize, okay, I'm trying to be that person. I gotta. It's no ifs ands buts about it. I have to do this, man. So like once you said starting that journey, man, gives you that extra motivation, but also that kind of like guideline of what you need to do to keep going and reaching that goal.
yeah. You're definitely right about that. And so that's a big one, man. We're gonna keep going. So I definitely say like, just to touch on that, these are just different things we're gonna talk about, throughout each episode. And kind of give you examples of those, how that looks, examples of how that looks for us, examples how that looks, just we actually shared this special piece, and I don't think we talked about it earlier, Trey, but this special piece of having flipping the switch, and we can kind of I can kind of share with the viewers real quick with flipping the switch. Flipping the switch is something where we're basically going to talk about, we have the solid switch, so what turns on, what motivates us, what turns on our switch internally, right? What makes us want to get up and do something, right? And switch is actually doing it, but flipping the switch is actually what external factor is inspiring you to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So like we said earlier, that may be a music, that may be a quote that you see, that may be someone says something positive to you to make you go or make you keep going. Um, and so each episode, before the episode actually starts, we're gonna have a portion of the podcast, actually the first part of the podcast before the actual episode comes on, is going to be called flipping the switch. And so definitely, Trey, do you want to kind of talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like you hit it on the tee, man. Like
Mhm,
basically, what we want to do each episode, we want to kind of demonstrate like what that means to flip the switch and how that could look. Like I said, it could be a lot of different things. It don't always have to be something motivational, man. It could be
mhm,
something as simple as, oh man, like I don't know, like a commercial you saw, some
yeah.
dude living you always want to live like, damn, that could be me. Okay, that could be switch
Mhm,
now. You know what I mean? Like something you read in I don't know, a book or something, or something like you said, a movie, like something you saw in a movie, or something your friend said. It could be anything that could switch. It's just something that gets you going, gets your engines revving, man. It gets you out of the bed, gets you wanting to attack life and wanting to
Yeah.
reach your goals. You know what I mean? We're gonna, like you said, we're gonna talk more about that as we go throughout this season, man, and more episodes. I really feel like it'd be a cool thing to do, man. Because it's one thing to tell somebody something, but it's another thing to show them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
for
it makes
sure.
things more tangible. As people, we like evidence. Like you can say something all day, but you can't prove it. You know, it's not real.
Yeah.
We want to show our viewers, hey, this is what flipping a switch could look like in your life.
Yeah. And that's the thing you said, Trey. I think that's perfect. Doing that and being able to show it, talking about it, but also doing it, action, right? And so we also talked about, I know we were talking about just basically, what is the silent switch? I don't know if we actually told, our viewers, but the silent switch is like the silent is to like to do something like not talk about it, and the switch is actually doing it. And then doing that is just like basically find those things, basically when you do those things, it makes it happen, right? You do those small little things, it makes it happen. Um, like I said, it's a motivational thing, it's a wide variety of things. But it does not have to be just you like going to set a goal and make your goal happen. It's about the process. It's about doing something that you want to do, and some as like if you say you want to become a better Christian, you know, find the church, right? Taking the steps to find a church. If it's something you want to become a better father, a better leader, just finding something that you can start doing to actually like get to that, and that's what the silent switch is like. Find silent switch, uh, find what flips your switch, and use it and run with it, and use it for life. It becomes
And
it becomes a part of life. So yeah.
it's just, I feel like my motto always been, don't talk about it, just be about it. That's what Silent
Yeah.
Switch kind of, and it's just don't talk about it. Like a lot of people just talk about what they want to do, what they want to be.
Hmm.
Eventually, talk sounds good, but it just talk. You know what I mean? It's not tangible. It's not actually happening. So you
Hmm.
actually start doing. Eventually, you're gonna just shut up, close your mouth, and actually start putting this in action.
Yeah.
Like really broke it down perfectly, man. This we want to show people, man. Like if you want your life to change, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
What's the definition of sanity by Albert Einstein? Do something the same thing over and over again, expect a different result. If you doing the same thing over and over again in your life, expect your life to change. I mean, crazy. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's not how life works, you know. So like, that's what silence switch is, man. Just trying to figure out what you can do in your life now,
Hmm.
not in the future, but right now, to start slowly changing your life until the life you want to live.
Yeah, definitely. And so we to actually go into the next part. The reason why, we always say like everything has meaning in life. And so silent switch has meaning in life for us. And so we talk about we want to kind of share our journey real quick, how we became friends, and we call it some called West. We actually call it the Westgate story. And I'm not sure if we ever shared how we became friends on your trail, and it's gonna make sense. And the Westgate story is gonna really kind of tell our listeners and our viewers why we came up with the name. Um, but basically, when we were, the Westgate story is basically um, when we were, in high school, we was like we wanted to be different, right? We didn't want to be like everybody else, and everybody else was talking about it. Everybody else was like, I'm just talking, and we was like, wait a second, y'all talking, but we don't see any results. Um, for us, we started figuring like, okay, they talking about it. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not even gonna talk about it. We're gonna be quiet and just move in silence, like move quietly and work hard, to the point where, we would start doing like working out on Saturdays and stuff when nobody was doing it. Um, and really, people would be like, Tommy, y'all look like y'all getting bigger. Oh, wait a second, now y'all a little bit more athletic than y'all were, last year, that type of thing. But that talk, that came with us as friends, as brothers, and we had a bond since like this since high school. But that came with conversations of saying like, hey, what we gonna do? Are we gonna be like everybody else? Or we gonna go on our own path? Hey, talk to them about that trip. How was that like? How was that whole process for you, bro?
It was the craziest thing ever because, like, before I met Julian, I really didn't even I didn't really have a lot of goals. I even imagined going to college playing ball. Like, I thought just football was like a fun activity to do
Hmm.
outside of school. But like, once I met Julian, just saw how hard he works. Like, he's one of the hardest working people I ever met. And just saw like how he lived his life, man, and how dedicated he was. Before it started like manifesting, even before he started like actually, playing, like starting on the team and things like that, getting scholarship, like he was busting his butt every single day,
Yeah.
man. I was like, man, like, it had me blown for a minute. Like once I started like kind of like sitting down talking with him, realized like, what he was actually doing now. Like, man,
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. So we kind of just like Julian said, we realized like, man, we really want to get to this point, man, because we knew from the family we came from, and
Yeah.
nobody's gonna be able to get that. We really want to get a higher education, to earn that.
Hmm.
So we like, man, we got to do this. All right, playing ball. That's how we gonna get there. All right, how we gonna how's playing ball gonna get us there? We got to be good enough to get there. So okay, what does that mean? Okay, we got to work hard. So we had to go. Like I said, Julian said, weekends we got there running sprints, man, doing drills. You know what I mean? Just working on we like just doing stuff like normal high school kids don't really do. I feel like nowadays they do, but like back
Yeah.
then, like a decade ago, most people was like football was like, yeah, like once you do football season, yeah, you hard, you going to the paint football season. But after the season was over, you kind of like chill. Like other sports, man, it was locked in all like 24/7, the whole year round. Like it was locked in, working out every day, doing what we had to do, man.
Yeah.
One, it made us a lot closer. Also, it just showed us how good we could be and how much we was limiting ourselves before. Like, damn, we can be even better we thought we could be,
Yeah.
man. But it takes like, that's what confidence is, man. It's just a sense, a self esteem of like how I'm trying to put this. So basically, in my mind, how like it's my confidence.
Hmm.
Basically, like once you actually doing things and see that you can actually do them things, that's how you develop confidence, and that's how we became more confident in ourselves as football
Yeah.
players. That kind of slowly, kind of flowed into our other parts of our lives, man. We realized, damn, we got better at football. What else can we get better at?
Yeah.
So that's something we still take with us now.
Yeah, like you said, Trail, we didn't let any like barriers like get in the way. Something simple. That doesn't sound. It's gonna be funny for our listeners, our viewers, but basically, like when we was in high school, like I remember we used to be at Westgate. Westgate is like this, a recreational park. It has like football fields. It has like a little gym and stuff. And at the gym, at first it was like kind of free to get into the little gym, and then they started charging us, and then you had to get like a whole key with a whole big like pole on it hooked up to it. You remember that,
Yeah,
Trey? And then so we'd be like, okay, like we gonna get this Westgate key so we could, so then we can work out. And then we was like, we might as well get some cardio. Let's start playing basketball. Start doing that. Then we was like, okay, we're gonna do that today. But then we still gotta go to the field. So we go to the field today. We got a cardio playing basketball in the weight room. Then we're gonna go to the football field the next day. It's the same space. But that field was always locked. You know what I'm saying? It was always
yeah.
locked. And hey, I don't know. We probably got arrested for trespassing or something. But every day we would just hop that fence every day to go hop on the field and do some drills and run around. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really just showed me, man. Like you can always find some way. Even it ain't gotta be as traditional as everybody else doing, but you can find some way to still accomplish what you're trying to do. Like you said, the cardio thing, playing basketball, but it has nothing to do with football,
Yeah.
but it's still cardio. It's fun we could do to
Hmm.
still help us reach our goals by actually doing something we enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
like that was really what that taught me back in the day, man. Just showing me like, damn, there's different ways. It's all this is gonna be very country, but it's different ways to skin a cat. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You ever heard that said?
Yeah, that's a country boy saying right there.
Exactly, man. Different ways to get things done. Like, you know, the destination, the route you take destination, it can change. It
Yeah.
can go this way, that way. If you're going the same way, get to the same direction, that's all that matters.
Hmm.
And that's what we're doing. Grinding. However we had to do. We had to hop the fence, we hop in the fence.
Yeah.
If it was raining, we gotta do something inside, indoors, we gotta do something indoors. You know what I mean? We had to find different ways to still meet our goals and hold ourselves accountable. You can find it can be like you said about the key thing with the Westgate. We could have been like, you know what? You got us paying. I don't want to pay that. You know what? I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
You gotta pay. We gotta pay. You had to find some ways to work out. Like we still could get our goals accomplished. We just had to find creative ways.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We didn't have no excuses. And I think that's the biggest thing we learned was like, we didn't make any excuses in life. Like, we was just like, look, this is what life got to be. And it like Trail said, it started like pouring over into other parts of life. I remember, I don't know if I ever shared, and I share more like another, another episode, but I remember like in high school, and I'm just like, oh, like taking the test over and over, and it started pouring into my life. I was like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna like. Yes, this is this is a barrier. This I can make this as an excuse and be like, oh, okay, this is excuse. This is the reason why I'm not going to college. But instead, I was like, let's keep working at this thing. Like if it was easy, I always say like to this day, if it's easy, anybody would do it. If it was easy and it was an easy, path, then everybody be going, and playing ball or going to school or going to college. But it was something in us, and I always tell Trill like this, it was something in us that was separate from everybody else. That wasn't in everybody else. Um and we went to a 6A high school, so we didn't go to no like small little 3A, 2A, 1A. We went to 6A, so we had a lot of people there. But it was something that
Exactly.
stuck
So,
out in us.
but that's why I feel like our scholarship and where we are in life now, like means so much to me, man. We worked so hard to get here. It
Yeah.
wasn't just handed. It wasn't like it was always the star athletes and stuff like that. Like it was predetermined. It was gonna be a full ride to college. Like when like said, we had to make that. We had to
Yeah.
make that vision a reality. You know what I mean? So we had to. When nobody else was going to do it for us, somebody else going to come and hold our hands and guide us to that process. We had to sit down and really like, hey, this is what we want to do. It's going to take to get there. We made it a reality. So that's why every day I wake up, I'm blessed. Like, damn, I may not be exactly where I want to be in life right now, but I'm something. Everything I have now, I work for, I earn, man. So
Mhm.
it always feels that much more great than the guys because I know like it wasn't just easy. It wasn't handed to me, but handed.
Mhm.
Had to try, grind, and go through some really tough times to get here. And
Yeah.
and that's something I want to make sure our listeners and our viewers know. Like, just because it's tough right now and it's a struggle right now, one is not always tough.
Mhm.
Two, embrace that. You look back, you can feel so much joy and so much gratitude. Damn, I went through all that. I
Yeah.
still got it. I'm still standing, still going forward. Like that's gonna mean so much more to you.
Definitely, bro. Like you said, our listeners, like you can make nothing. You can make nothing out. You can make some. I mean, nothing out of some or some out of nothing. I don't even know which one is. You can come. You can start from the bottom. Now you're here. You can
Yeah.
really start that. And last thing I was want like loud listeners know, just like it's okay to be the underdog. We was the underdogs. I mean, we weren't trying to be, them boys. We weren't trying to be, the popular ones in school. We was just trying to be the ones who, we was working towards our future. We didn't care about the present, about trying to be cool for everybody and, try to be somebody we not. We just focused on where we was trying to go. Because we was focused on that end goal. And now that we achieved that end goal, years ago, we create new goals and we working towards a new end goal. And that's just recreating that thing over and over. Turn that silent switch on over and over. So that's what it's about.
And I'm about to ask something before we end,
Oh
man.
yeah.
What you saying that got me thinking like you just never know what life gonna take you though.
Mm-hmm.
When we first start walking through those doors and trying to be, full ride
Oh yeah.
scholarship, you hear, man, like I don't think you ever thought like you go to school getting your master's,
Oh
you working a
no.
job you working in now. But like just think about like if you never took that step and never put that effort in to reach that goal and accomplish that goal, you'll never be where you at right now. You won't
Yeah,
even have the opportunity to have right now.
you're right.
That's something I want to remind you, man. Like you never know what life gonna take you, but you'll never get there if you never start. You never walk through those doors, the other doors. You never open up where you meet. So
Mm-hmm.
just embrace the journey, embrace where you at, but embrace where you can go. The sky's the limit. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that like, oh, you can do whatever. I'm saying you can do whatever, but you gotta actually do it.
Yeah, definitely. You said it, Trey, like you hit it on the T, man. Like, you said everything. And another piece to that, don't let them external factors and external people outside of what you're trying to do destroy your goal, your dream, or what you're trying to do. Like, just stay true to yourself, stay true to what you're trying to do, and just move forward. It starts with you. It don't start with nobody else. Like we said earlier, this is your lens of life, and put your shades on and look forward. Um, anything else you want to say? Tell our viewers, Trey, before we end today.
Man, so I feel like I don't know if we're gonna stay through this, but I feel like every Thursday is gonna be like a upload day or whatever. So we're gonna try to hold ourselves accountable, stay
Yeah,
to that. But it could change. We both have busy schedules. But as of right now, we'll try to get an episode out every single Thursday.
every Thursday.
Like a different topic. and we're gonna try to be consistent with this. Like I said, like you said before, like we're gonna make
Mhm.
this official, man. It's something we both take pride in, man. We wanna help people, we wanna inspire people. So we gotta hold ourselves accountable to that too.
Definitely. Definitely said, Trail, like being that consistent, and this is something that the viewers and listeners are, are looking forward to. So if you guys are looking forward to it, it'll be out there for you, ready to go. And we got, like I said, we gotta stay true to what we preaching and what we're saying. We want you guys to do the same thing. Um, but if that's all we have today, Trail, make sure y'all tune to the South Switch podcast next week. Make sure you tell your friends and tell their friends and tell their friends to tap into the Southwest podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. And like we said, every episode, every single episode, make sure you turn the South Switch on and find something that's gonna flip your switch. All right,
Switch.
then, yes, sir. Y'all have a good night, and then, hey, peace.